I really need to go to bed. Anyway, today, it was, I believe, day 43. And, I uploaded the animation. What's amazing is that I noticed one of the frames, I missed the detailing in the inside of his ears. But whatever, I'm done with it for now. I'm gonna move on to the next thing. We're just trying to get a like a 1 minute length animation done by next week. I mean, I'm talking about like sort of the animation that I did, the Joker animation. I'm actually quite proud of what I've gotten done so far. I finally got the background to a point where it looks good. I think it looks, at least to a certain degree, somewhat authentic. The animation of of Joker himself looks a little too bright, a little too saturated. The white looks still a little too light, and I think like what I would do is take it I would take the footage into a video editing and like mess around with the levels, the layers, like the colors, like the contrast, saturation, all that stuff. When I get like further, like if I come back to this, that there is those other things that I would want to do in order to further add polish. I would probably even want to maybe add a little bit of the original series soundtrack to try to help push the authenticity. I'm done with it so far. I'm done with it for now. And I am moving on to the next project. And that's it for today. And until tomorrow, it's like 4 in the morning of Wednesday, September 2nd, I think. It's like I just woke up. I'm gonna be going back to sleep, but day 44. I was just spending. I didn't work on anything regarding the animation for next Monday. The next animation. I haven't started on that yet. I was just working on animating the last days 40 through 42. And I still haven't uploaded that. I exported, but I fell asleep. Gotta go back to sleep, and didn't get anything. Other than that, like nothing else was done. So I'm just gonna keep this short and see what I get done tomorrow. If I'm not mistaken, today's 45 of becoming productive, and it's the first day working on the new animation. And by the time you see this, is most likely going to be on Tuesday, so it's going to be after my animation is released. So I decided to work on a Game Grumps animated, and the only thing is, like I said, I was going to make a minute-long animation. But the audio, the primary audio that I'm using, it's actually only about 24 seconds long. But I plan on including an intro and an outro for it, like the typical like boop 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 game. Game Grumps animated intro that is typically used. I'm just gonna took that off some other videos, and the outro. It's like these audio things don't seem to be like, maybe they're available isolated somewhere, but I'm probably just gonna have to just take them off of someone else's video. What's interesting is the audio clip that I'm using is Darth Vader talking into a fan audio clip. I actually don't remember what episode it's from. All I know is it's from 2014. I have a date where I recorded, like, basically on my computer upstairs. It says April 5th, 2014. But I've looked around it, and if I listen really closely, I think the background audio is from the Pokemon Fire Red, but I don't know the exact one. But just because the time, like all I know is that like when I recorded it, I had to have recorded it very quickly, very recently, or close to when the episode came out, because I knew if I waited, I would forget about it and I wouldn't be able to find that episode again. So I had to have like recorded it, and I think I used Audacity, but I think I'm gonna have to go back and find the actual episode to get to get better audio level for it. Because I think like I'm also gonna pad out like sort of the after outro thing with like another audio clip, and the audio that I use from there is much louder than the audio from the Darth Vader thing. So I'm gonna have to try to find the original episode and like rip the audio directly from it, because I think the first time I did it, I just used Audacity's record the audio from like stereo mix, or whatever it's called, like that. So that's what I'm gonna have to do. I might try to do it actually, find the original time I recorded it, because it's probably like on the computer down here. I actually generally I've already kind of made an animatic of the general animation that I want for that main bit, and even for like the after bit, which I'm actually taking audio from a Phoenix Wright one. The clip there is like short enough that I think it can go afterwards and help sort of expand, because I think like with the, if I do the intro, my main cartoon, the main audio, the outro, and this little sort of stinger thing, I think it'll make it close to a minute. It won't make it quite a minute. So that now the question is the degree of the animation that I want. Now that is because like in terms of what I've done animatic wise, it kind of implies something like a little bit more complex animation. But I'm gonna have to try to make sure that, although it's like there isn't like really, like the shot composition is, I guess, more complex. It's not like necessarily totally flat, but it should allow for not a lot of limb movement, just like talking in place. So I think it'll be a good. I think I can get this done before next Monday. I'm going to have, like, I don't go into work tomorrow until 2, and then I have Friday and Saturday completely to myself. They're completely off. I'm completely off. So I'm really going to have to make sure that at least by the end of Saturday I have most of the animation like really done. Because like Sunday I work 12 to 5, like maybe I have time to work it beforehand, maybe after, but then I also have to make sure I have enough time. Well, actually, I think Monday will be the time that I decide to edit together all the vlog footage here. I'll do that on Monday, and I'll make sure that Monday is the time to get my animation up. So yeah, that's it for day 45, and here's to what I accomplished tomorrow. Like, yeah, here's to tomorrow. Recap of day 46. I did, like, consider like what I did last night or today or whatever. It's like I did manage to re-find the audio, the episodes that that I'm going to use, that I originally, with the original Darth Vader talking into a fan, bit like the episode that was from. So I was able to find that, and I was able to get like a better version of the audio out of that. I did get a little bit of work on the animation done before going to work today, and I spent pretty much most of my time after work working on it, interspersed with like, you know, watching like YouTube and other videos and things like that. But I did manage to spend quite a bit of time, like the rest, most of the rest of the day, working on that, and I did get, I would say, like most of it kind of like boarded out, animatic level. It's like the very rough sort of placeholder animation and like what I want, sort of like, you know, the shots, how they look and all that stuff. So I think I pretty much got like the main body of that, and the sort of the stinger bit basically sketched out, so to speak. And pretty much what I would really need, like the only other thing that I would need to sort of like kind of rough out is the intro to the intro. You know, the boop 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 boop, determine like what my style of that is going to be. Now I've just got to really, once I get into the actual adding the color and making it look a little bit more polished, I'm still I can't go do full frame by frame animation. I'm not gonna have time in order to do that before Monday. So I'm gonna have to really determine. I mean, like the way I have the shots like set up, I think I can leave it as like almost like still images and just like animating pretty much just the qualities of the face, like the mouth and like the eyes. It's like focusing just on that. So I think like that's pretty much what I'm gonna end up doing. Like basically making sort of their bodies mostly static and just animating their faces, mouths, and every now and then like kind of and any sort of more complex or like movement involving the bodies is probably just going to be kind of almost a jump cutty, not really any sort of in betweens. I think another thing I really have to do is like make sure what in order to make the images clean, determine like settle on the sort of the character designs for all the things. So right now there's kind of like just sketched and sort of roughly put in. I kind of have to settle on what their look, the style is going to be. So like that, I guess, is going to be my primary goal over the next 2 days. Again, the animation is only about like 40, like 44, 43, maybe 43 seconds long. It's not a full minute, but like I needed to get started working on this as soon as possible, and that was like the only sort of audio that I had immediately available. I couldn't waste too much time trying to find the perfect length of audio, because then I would have even less time. I'm just gonna have to use this as example of like, okay, this is what I was able to basically get done, and this is the level. It'll still kind of serve the purpose as showing, okay, this is kind of like the framework where you can sort of expect at least this degree of animation done. So hopefully it's sort of like that the choppier animation. Like I'm hoping that the series that we're doing is gonna lead more towards maybe absurd comedy, in which case the choppy the choppy animation style should hopefully add to the comedy. Like will add to that. He's already told me he had to like sort of restart writing on the pilot, because he started off very dark, and what he described to me was like, yeah, a little too heavy as a first episode. So hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he can settle on a proper tone for this series. But yeah, that's what I did today, and hopefully I get like more than half of it completed by the end of tomorrow. So until then. Okay, recap for day 47. I want to say today was more of a learning experience than actually getting actual progress done on the animation itself, because like I started with the final, like applying sort of like the final color and how like to try to make it look finished. So I'm going over the like sort of the rough animatic sort of animation aspect part of it. There are aspects of like the color, like the background, and how the two characters have the characters on front of the background. It doesn't really like, I'm still not like happy with that aspect. The color doesn't seem to really look right or look good. So I'm trying to like still need to figure that. But in terms of like what I mean in terms of like learning experiences, I basically refreshed myself on the use of like graphic symbols and applying, and then also like learning like doing groups, because like I figured out you can take sort of like the fill colors and you can apply them, create them into groups, which aren't quite symbols, because like you can't name groups and you can't apply sort of tweens or anything. You can't like, so you can't create instances of groups, but it's a way of working with layers within layers. So that so that was the thing that I had I was remembering from before. Is like I knew that there were ways that you could have like sort of layers within layers, like you can move things forward and backwards in terms of like how they're stacked. It was the fact that they were working in groups, and primarily like most of the day was spent working on sort of like a shot that was a zooming in shot, because I created it into its own movie clip, but then I would had to figure out why, like how to like if I have animation within the movie clips, I want to see it on the main timeline, and I didn't remember all that stuff. I didn't remember how to do that, and it was the fact that it was a graphic versus a movie clip, and then I had to figure out like why when it was a graphic it wasn't showing it, and I guess like I had to just create a new instance of it because whatever, I don't know exactly the reason why, but I managed to figure that out and I got that working. And so really it's just because like really like it's still going to be like mostly, it's like really if you think about it, like in terms of what I'm doing here, it's like mostly still images with just animating like the mouth and some like limbs and stuff like that. So hopefully I like the rest of today, because it's after, I think it's after 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I can see the camera right there. It's like, yeah, it's after 3. It's after 3 in the morning right now. So I'm going to go to bed, and I'm going to do laundry. Like I'm going to end up doing laundry because I need to do that. And today I just gotta. Sorry, it doesn't feel like Saturday. That's the thing. Is like it doesn't feel like I'm to Saturday. I feel like I still have like an extra day to work on it, but like I really don't. I think like hopefully, like the thing that was taking up most of the time, that I got that figured out, and so hopefully the rest of it will be more or less smooth sailing. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So until tomorrow. This is the log for day 48. Progress was constant, but not as, didn't get as much progress as I would have liked, and kind of a bit slower going than I originally anticipated. I was hoping that I would have it mostly done by the end of today. Like I would say that in terms of like the main animation, I guess one could say it's mostly done, but there's still the like sort of like the post, like the outro animation, like the stinger animation that I haven't even put any color to that, and I'm almost thinking that I might end up having to just use the rough as, it's like the thing is like I was trying to get at least like this is the thing is like I wanted to get like a minute worth. I originally wanted to try to get a minute's worth of animation, like at least rough, at least like simple, whatever, done within a week, and it seems like I can't even get like 40 seconds, because like the whole thing total is like 42 seconds, but it seems even trying to get something like, I mean, obviously I think it's interesting because like the basic like sort of rough animation just sketched out, it's like I got that done fairly quickly. It's just like trying to finalize and trying to create a more like polished look, even in a simplistic, because like I was hoping I would have enough time to get at least some basic crude lip sync animation and maybe a little bit more animation, so it's wasn't just that it wasn't just sort of like the choppy like I was expecting it to be somewhat choppy, like not like super smooth, like frame by frame. I wasn't going on that. I wasn't going for that. I was hoping at least a little bit more, at least having like a little bit like more movement to, and like overlapping movement, not just like everything moving on the same frames, like everything changing in the exact same frame. I was hoping I could do a little bit of just things like changing, like the different elements changing on different frames so that there's this overlap, so like it would kind of give the illusion of like sort of more movement, like because I know if everything sort of changes on the same frame, then it just kind of looks like a series of like a slideshow type of thing. So I was hoping if I got some sort of overlapping movement, it would help sell it a little bit better. That's what I wanted to do, but even that, I feel like even that seems as though I'm really running out of time if I want to get this uploaded on Monday. Because again, I do work on Sunday, 12 to 5, and then I also work Monday 10 to 4. So there's going to be so really like, I really can't expect to really do any significant work on Monday with the animation to get it uploaded on Monday. especially if I want to edit all of this footage for Tuesday. I was originally hoping like that basically the editing, like Monday would be the editing day for the becoming productive thing. But I mean again, and also it's like what's really annoying is like I've been lately just from sitting, I guess, like working on the tablet, like even though I'm not slouching or anything like that, like as far as I'm aware, I'm not slouching. I'm getting all this sort of pain in my shoulders and my upper back, and I don't know if it's due to me doing like sort of like the pull-up exercises, and if that might be contributing to the tightness and like some that knots that have been seeming to be formed as I sit at the like if I lie down or if I stand up or anything like that, it kind of tends to dissipate, and I'm trying to now incorporate some exercise for that. But yeah, that's just what I've managed to do for today, and hopefully tomorrow I'll have I'll have it finished, or at least like 90% finished. Hopefully, actually more closer to 95% finished by the end of tomorrow, if I really want to get it uploaded on Monday. So yeah, here's hoping it gets done. Vlog for day 49 and the end of week 7 of my Becoming Productive series, and status on the animation. I'm going to declare that it's done, because I mean pretty much it's gotten, I like in terms of like the main part of the animation is at a level that I would consider at least adequately complete. Overall, though, I would say this exercise as to be a little bit of a failure, because I wasn't able to animate the whole 42 seconds, like the whole thing, to the same level, the same degree as, like, I guess the best area. If I had all day tomorrow, if I weren't going into work tomorrow, I might be able to get the ending bit at the same level as everything, but I'm working 10 to 4, and I want to make sure it's up, and I want to make sure I have time to edit all of these together for tomorrow. So, in terms of what I set out to do, I pretty much failed. And I mean, I guess it also depends upon like what Michael is looking for, or what he finds acceptable in terms of like if I show him this is what I was able to get done in a week, and if he's not happy with the level or degree or what tweaks or things like that, then I don't know what to say, because this was, I mean, in terms of like the best looking parts of it, like the coloring, I was only like basically the sort of the main thing that was like 23, 24 seconds. So to show that getting that degree, I mean, one could say like if I were just, since the thing is, if I were working on just that 24 seconds, that definitely would have been done faster. I did include other aspects of it. It's like, but I mean, of course, we're talking about doing the whole thing. So the fact that what I was able to get done in a week, it's not as much as I would have hoped to. I think there may have been certain things that as I was working on it, I learned that probably could have saved me probably, maybe not considerable, but like a non insignificant amount of time working on it, such as probably should have like bit the bullet, like putting certain things on separate layers so that I wouldn't have to and probably sooner working, if I was going to work in groups, or maybe just doing symbols, so that like if I modify the inside, so I only have to modify the original symbol as opposed to going into and having to modify like each individual instance where I create a keyframe. So there were certain things that I did that were inefficient time-wise, and if I from the beginning knew or incorporated or set out like exactly what I was going to do, like maybe I would have been able to get the other stuff done as well. So like one could say maybe it's promising, like depending on like what we end up doing with the Gangster Parrot series, maybe we can get to the point where we can get 2 minutes in 2 weeks. Like as of right now, I would think with the level of animation that I did with this thing, I could probably do 2 minutes in 3 weeks. So that's the thing, is like it's really hard to overstate exactly how time-consuming animation is, even if you're doing something simple, like something simple that you want to at least make good. I mean, I guess it also depends upon the skill level as you do it. Because like me, I'm still fairly inexperienced doing this. So I'm doing this and I'm learning a bit as I do it. So hopefully it'll become a faster process down the road and in the future. But I won't know if Mike's satisfied until he sees it. So that's what I'm going to do. So after I come home from work, I'm going to upload the video, and I'm going to immediately get started working on editing this footage. And hopefully before the end of the day, if I'm uploading this video Tuesday, so hopefully I'll have time to upload the video Tuesday, because I might even be off Tuesday? Yeah, I'm off Tuesday, so whatever I don't get finished editing tomorrow, I'll have it finished on Tuesday, and I'll get the video up. So, yep. So until tomorrow,